Hey everyone, it's Courtney from HowCourtneySeesIt, and I'm here today with my glasses on to film the beginning portion of my April wrap-up. So I was editing this video and realized that I accidentally deleted the beginning. So that's just what's happening. So yeah, here I am. This is me post-work, so I have that very nice post-work shine to my skin. And it looks pretty bad because I'm wearing a mask for 6 hours. So we're just going with it. Let's talk about stuff. So my April TBR was quite random. And I'm going to try to not make my glasses do a big glare. But it's very dark here right now because it is raining outside. So let's talk about the stuff that I did not read from my TBR. The first one being Elixir by Hilary Duff. I just put that back on my TBR shelf because did not have time. I did not finish 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. I'm about halfway through. I just didn't finish it. I'm going to for May though, so look forward to hearing my thoughts on that. And then what else did I read this month? I DNF'd a book this month. Let's talk about that. So it was called Good Riddance. It was by somebody, hold on, I gotta move the camera. It was by Eleanor Lipman, and basically I just didn't care. It was a contemporary kind of romance-y book, and it was the plot lines that I got, how to describe, summarize, Courtney, here we go. So it is a 30-something-year-old woman who is divorced. She got married, and it was basically a scam. The guy married her just to get his inheritance, and now they're divorced. And she moves to a new apartment in a new city. I think she moves from like Philadelphia to New York or something. I can't remember. Honestly, I just wiped it from my mind. So there was like a whole scam thing. Her mom passed away. Her mom was very boisterous. She worked at a high school, and she would write in the margins of the yearbooks after she left the high school. She would keep going to the reunions and write in the margins of the yearbook, like her personal yearbook, and be like divorced, remarried, you know, it was like a whole commentary. And somebody found said yearbook because the daughter, the main character, whose name I honestly can't recall, threw it away. She put it in the recycling bin, and one of her neighbors at the apartment complex found it and wants to make it into a screenplay. And that's all I got because I just did not care. I definitely didn't include this in the original clip of this, but I'm going to put it in now because I remembered. So I also read The Foxhole Court in April, and what I wrote down as a reaction is 2 stars. What the F did I just read? And that is my genuine reaction. So unsure about some elements of this book. I don't know why I'm so tilted. That XE, is it lacrosse? I kind of don't understand what it is. I understand it's not meant to be lacrosse because it's supposed to be like a new game. People are hyped about it. It's a thing that the Moriyamas created. I don't really get it. There's a lot of weird energy in this book. It was written a long time ago before, because this would be a super problematic book if it was out now, like recently released. I feel like people would hate it. Because there's like implied rape at one point, and they like drug one of the team members and he doesn't remember anything. There's like verbal and physical abuse on the team, and the whole thing for the Foxes is like every single person on this XE team is like messed up in some way. Like they have some kind of trauma or addiction or something that, and like they also play XE. Like it was just very strange for me, the whole concept. I didn't get it. I might read the second one if I can find it online, like on Libby or Overdrive or something, but I would not go out of my way to buy this book. That's my reaction. And now on to my regularly scheduled programming, which I might have to edit because I don't recall what I said in the other section. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Here's Courtney from 2 weeks ago. Okay, bye. Okay, so we are doing something out because my camera has died, deceased. Do y'all see these like two like sections that are really curly and cute on both sides of my head? Explain yourself. Anyway, so like I said, I DNF'd that one book because I just didn't give any hex about it. I couldn't deal with it. And also, like, over there is messy. Please stop looking at it. I can't frame this like I would normally. I guess I could. I can move you this way. Little rearrange. Let's go on. Let's talk about everything else because honestly, that's what we're doing. We're doing it. Okay, so for this TBR, I really wanted to reread Cinder by Marissa Meyer because it's been about 100 years. I think I read this in high school. When did this come out? 2013. Is that right? 2012. Yeah, so I mean, I read it like in college. And I remember really liking it. And then, so during this reread, I remembered why I liked it so much and really enjoyed it. Truly, I gave it like a 5-star and I forgot how good it was. And that's what I said on my note sheet. Forgot how good it was. It got me. I mean, I feel like you guys all know the premise of this series, but basically it's kind of like a Disney retelling, but not really. It's like a really twisted Disney retelling. So the main character is like half cyborg and she like is adopted by a family and then the guy who adopts her, so her like adopted dad, he dies from this terrible plague that's like killing a bunch of people. And then as like the story goes on, like her adopted sister gets it and she's blamed and she is sent into like a cyborg draft, which is like medical professionals experimenting on cyborgs because they are not considered human, they're considered possessions. And she ends up being like immune. It's very cool. And she ends up like liking the prince, which is very unnatural. And he ends up liking her too, which is great. So anyway, it's cute. I dug it. I definitely want to read the second one. It's on my list. I just haven't read it yet. And then the next book that I read, which was an ebook, was called The Bookworm Crush. And I'm going to put up a picture because I can't remember the author's name. Did I write it down? No, I did not. And this was super cute, like super, super cute. So it was written, they're still in high school, so it's written YA, but I feel like it's more like new adult, even though they're in high school, because some of this stuff, like the sexy stuff, it wasn't like super, like, there was nothing like graphic, but like some of the stuff was just like, oh my, you know, like clutch your pearls and like that kind of situation. But it was super good. I dug it. So basically the whole synopsis, let me tell you really quick, is this very wonderful, very adorable book nerd girl who is best friends with another girl whose mother is like a mystery author and they own a bookstore. So they both spend a lot of time in said bookstore. Anyway, so the mother is getting married to this gentleman whose son is this star surfer dude who's like super hot and like all the girls love him and like classic, you know, like main male character situation. And so the main character, our main character, she wants to win this book contest so she gets to meet her favorite author and interview her on, I think it's a live stream. I don't remember, but it's it's a recorded thing, so you can like replay it. And that's like her goal. That's what she wants. So she uses this guy to like help her, and she has him coach her on swagger, which I feel like this book must have been written in like 2014 or 2015 when like swag was like a big thing. So he's doing that, like he's helping her, and through all of it, he ends up really liking her. And because, you know, he'd known her, they've known each other their whole lives, but she was always Viv's like annoying friend, or like her bookie friend that he didn't really have anything in common with, and they actually have a lot in common, and it was super cute, and I gave it 5 stars, and I literally wrote 2 thumbs up, would read again. It was super cute. There were some really funny lines. I'm gonna have to see if I can find the one. It was like he had like unzipped his like zootie, like his like zip up, and had it like open because they live in California and it was hot and it's summer, and so he wasn't wearing a shirt under it because he'd been surfing, and she was just like in her head, she's like, I have to, what do I do? Do I tell him to zip it? I should tell him to zip it so that, because my virgin eyes are burning or something like that, and it was really it was quite funny. Anyway, okay, moving on. So I'll have that like, yes, you can Google it. And then the last book I read for the month was The House of Earth and Blood, The Crescent City #1 by Sarah J. Maas, and I died. I did a vlog, a reading vlog on this book to document my reactions to everything, so I will not spoil anything here because that is rude. But if you watch that vlog, you will be spoiled. I will have it like disclaimed in the title. It's gonna say like spoilery vlog, because I literally speak about everything that happens and then my reaction, because some things I could not handle, and my best friend and I were reading this at the same time because she just had her baby, so she has off time right now, so her and I were reading it together, and it was super, super intense. I had a great time. Basically, if you guys haven't read any synopsis for this book, I'm trying to think of like a good way to do this without saying anything that will ruin everything. So Bryce is the main character, and then she is paired up with this angel who is like he's kind of like a fallen angel. The angels participated in a revolution and it failed, and so now they are slaves. So he is paired up with Bryce to try to solve these murder cases, because she's like involved. Kind of plain. Where are you going? Travel is restricted. Anyway, so she is trying, like, he needs help trying to solve all of these murders, and so she's helping, and he ends up being like her bodyguard kind of thing, like goes with her everywhere, and it's very it's everything that I wanted in my life. That is all I have to say. I don't want to say a lot because I feel like I'm going to accidentally say something that's going to spoil it, and I don't want to do that because, like, for me, I literally didn't read any reviews or watch any videos or anything, even with TBRs in them, because I didn't want to have anything spoiled for me, so I don't want to do that for anyone else either. But I will let you know, this was a roller coaster. I cried a lot, which I haven't cried while reading a book in a minute. I feel like it's been a while, and I cried like 4 times. Also, I think partly it's because some of the things that happen in this book, like Bryce goes through like a really bad bout of like depression and like loneliness, and she has like high anxiety and stuff about things that happened, and I feel like that's just very relevant to right now. I'm very sad. I am very lonely. I miss my friends. I miss my family. And luckily, I do live with my partner, so I'm not like alone and a, you know, risk to myself. But I know that that isn't the case for a lot of people. So I guess that's my disclaimer, is like, if you're in a place that you think this would upset you, I would say wait to read it until maybe after quarantine lifts. I don't know. Also, while I was reading Cinder, I was reading it and I forgot that there was a plague in it, and they're talking about like doing lockdown and how everyone's dying and all this stuff, and I walked into my room, or like our room, and my partner was in there, and I was just like, ha, I'm in danger. And I was like, this is literally what's happening right now. And I was like, we're all gonna die. I was like, it's telling the future. But yeah, it was very, I forgot that happens in that book, and it was very like, oh no, I'm in danger, because I was just like, I don't know if I can mentally handle this, but it ended up being like totally fine. Like, it didn't bother me, and which, praise God, because I really needed to like not do stuff. And I feel like I should have read more books, because technically I only finished 3 books and I DNF'd 1, so 4 books total for the month. And I feel like I should have read a lot more because I had off time, but I did not. And instead of really getting on myself and being upset about it, I'm just going to embrace. We're gonna move forward. I was trying to participate in Camp Nano in April, and I low-key failed. But I had a good time, and it forced me to pick up writing again. I was also beta reading of a book for one of my friends on Twitter, which was super, super cool, and I was so into it. So, I mean, if that counts, I beta read her whole draft and was lit about it. Like, honestly, I hope that that comes to fruition, because it was really cool. Like, the concept behind it was really cool, and I would definitely recommend it to people if it gets published. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. That is everything for my wrap up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you read anything in April that you're like, oh my God, bitch, you would love this, let me know in the comments. Or if you did a wrap up video, I would love to watch it, because I just want to know what people are reading. I'm feeling very nosy right now, and I just have been watching a lot of people's vlogs, because again, I feel isolated, and watching vlogs makes me feel less isolated. I don't know what this is that I'm doing right now. I'm nervous and I don't know what to do with my hands apparently. That's all. Bye everyone.